Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of HCTalk. As always, I'm your host, Lance Gormley, and our special guest on the program is Harvey County Sheriff Chad Gay to give us a monthly update on everything that's been going on in the county this month. How are you doing today, Chad?
Good. How are you, Lance?
Very good.
Good to see you.
Yeah, I saw that, watched the commission meeting yesterday where you were giving an update and knew, well, this is the time we can get it done. And so I just want to hand it over to you to break down the stats, Chad.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about our monthly stats for the month of April 2025. So in April, we pulled 205 cases. We had 486 traffic stops, 66 tickets issued, so 66 unhappy people, 83 arrests, and there's a bunch of unhappy people too, I'm sure, 537 area checks, 108 citizen contacts, and we drove 45,902 miles. So, and that number, I say it in the commission meeting probably every time. It gets a little redundant, I'm sure, but that number never ceases to amaze me.
Yeah, that's a lot of
45,000
all over Harvey
crazy.
County. Well, what that says is that you all are everywhere all the time. So just remember that.
Yeah, and that's why we kept track of that number, because it's like, we get around. I want, when I first started, we had folks out in the county would not necessarily complain, but be like, hey, we never see you out here, and then we started keeping track of that stat to show people, hey, we're out there. We just, you might miss us, but there's only 2 or 3 of us out at a time, but we're putting on some, we're out there.
Yeah.
Okay, so 2025 crash reports. We had 5 vehicle accidents with an animal. And I think at yesterday's meeting, I'm pretty sure that one of those in April was Josh Lowe, that one of our deputies, he's a sergeant with us. He hit a deer in his pickup in the middle of the daytime on South Kansas Avenue. Yeah, it's a weird time of the day to hit a deer.
Well, and sometimes anybody that's ever hit a deer knows that deer more likely tried to hit them. It seems like they just have a way of just, running right into you. You think of all the times that you can want to get out of the way. They don't have any fear of cars.
Right. And there was 2 of them at once, and he luckily only hit the one of them. So then 12 non-injury accidents and 4 injury accidents. All right. We talked about Chris Purvis here, one of our deputies. He's our civil process guy. And I think I've explained it before, but he's a full-on commissioned deputy. He just happens to be, majority of his assignment is serving civil process, so he serves papers. And so he received 557. He served 539 for a total of $2,990. So a little tiny bit of revenue. And a much larger budget than that. Yeah. It's like barely a dent. So calls for service in April was 1,599, which is the average daily calls for service is 53, and that's 123 calls per deputy. We had 8 times we requested help from outside agencies, which means our municipalities typically. Our fellow municipalities, and then other agency requests, which is typically our municipalities. We had 39 requests from them for us to help them. So, and we're happy, and we're always happy to do it. I always say we got a good group of cops out there. So April, we had 21 shifts on day shift with only 2 deputies, and that was because we had one shift that only had 2 deputies. One of our newer guys just got done with FTO, and I think today was his first day. I jokingly say his first day actually contributing to the office. Jokingly, right?
He deserves
that.
So
he's been out.
Yeah, he deserves that.
So new guy today, and he's he's new to us, but he's the guy that has like 12 years of experience in Riley County PD, But anyway, so he's with us now full time. So that shift is now 3 deputies. So we're happy to have him. And then on night shift, we had 9 shifts with only 2 deputies. And that was a total of 50% of the time we were running with 2 deputies. But again, that'll change because one of our guys just came out of FTO and is helping us out now. All right. Next. And then this is our fuel, our drive-in stats, and again, I already told you 45,902 miles. And we used a total of 2,874 gallons of gas, and that cost us $6,685. And hopefully, I drill, baby, drill, right?
Yeah.
And hopefully that price will come down, and we won't have to spend as much on gas for the next few years, anyway. So our crime statistics, there's nothing here. You can go through this. There's a big list that we put down of crimes that can happen, but not all of them have a number by them. Like it didn't happen. Burglary, we didn't have any. So there's nothing in here that jumps out at me. If we ever come to a thing where we're having lots of bad things going on, I'll point it out to us. But there's really nothing. And again, most of them are generated by traffic stops and self-initiated activity. But yeah, nothing in our crime reports that alarm me too bad. Okay, so then in the jail, we just have a pretty short little one-sheeter here. So inmates to district court, we had 86 inmates go to district court in April. We didn't multiples at once. We had 0, so we didn't have to take 2 at a time. They asked us for extra security 3 times. Our time in district court was 43 hours and 20 minutes. Inmates waiting to be transported to the Department of Corrections. We have 3 of those. DC transports, so that means that we had 11 trips, which means we take somebody to the dentist or the doctor or those types of things. We have 10 cells out of service right now. And I can't go through all 10 of them and tell you exactly what's wrong with each one of them. It's either something's coming off the wall or plumbing. Yeah. I mean, that's almost always what it is. And we could break that down a little more. That might be interesting to let you know what each cell is broken, why they're broken. Yeah. And federal inmate transports, we only made 8 trips, and that was 24 hours and 50 minutes and 448 miles. And again, our federal inmate population is pretty low right now, so we're not taking as many trips. So that's the stats for the month of April.
All right, Chad. I know you've been out, you've been busy, you've been doing some things. I did hear that maybe you, along with a few other sheriff's officers, did wind up gracing a group of individuals that wanted you to do some basic firearm safety class. How did that go?
Yeah.
And what are you looking at maybe doing some more of that in the future?
Yeah, so that was something I've been talking about for a few years now. I've been a firearms instructor since 1998, and I have a lot of knowledge in shooting firearms, and I thought, well, if I could share that with some folks, that would be great. And we share that with our fellow law enforcement guys, but I've never really shared it with a group of people. And so we had some folks organize that for me, and I showed up and helped kind of teach a class, and it was pretty basic. And I like basic because a lot of folks, I always say, it's the basics that are going to make you a good shooter. There's no magic to it. The really good shooters are just really good at the basics. There's no extra tricks or no anything that I can do to make somebody a better shooter. You just got to get better at the basics, and it's just like any sport. I use basketball as an analogy. You learn to pass and dribble and shoot really good, you're going to be a good basketball player. And so same with shooting. So this was a basic class. Just talked about some firearm safety and how to handle your gun. And then I basically take you through the steps of how to shoot, but without firing a bullet. And I think it went well. We had quite a few people in attendance. I think it was a good deal. I would love to do more of it. I enjoyed it. And I talked to, Sean Chapman, the undersheriff, was there helping. Brandon Huntley, he's our captain over patrol, was there helping. And Tim Bays, he's our sergeant, one of our sergeants over patrol. He was there helping. And all those guys are firearms instructors also. So I'm a firearms instructor, and the other three guys are. And they actually, Sean told me I enjoyed doing that. So he liked it. So we all, and I enjoyed doing it too. And like I said, I think we kept it to an hour, just a little more. And so it was good. I would be happy to do more of it.
Always serving. Always serving. You know that. You do that. I got to say, Chad, you have a heart for your community, and in more ways than one. You show that by, like we've done town halls before. You've been there. You don't have to be there. You choose to be there. I've known you to be somebody that's extremely accessible. And even in this most recent thing that I saw that you participated in, you don't have to do it, but you choose to do it. And that's why we appreciate you as our sheriff. So I want to say thank you. Do you got any last word that you want to share with anybody?
Not necessarily. And I know that's coming because you ask me every time we do this. One of the things I want to make sure people know, and I don't usually say it too loudly, but I would just want to make sure, I want people to know that I've got their backs in our community, but I also am hoping that they have my back, right? That they have our back. So we live in a great community. We have a bunch of great folks here that I think, that we have a lot of support. So life is good for us.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. Awesome, Chad. We appreciate you. Thank you for having our back. We will always have your back. I know that to be the case.
I appreciate that.
I just want to thank everybody for listening to this episode of HCTalk. As always, I was your host, Lance Gormley, and we had Harvey County Sheriff Chad Gay on the program to give a monthly update.